Salutations, Imperial citizens and battle brothers. It's brother Tobias, and this will be the third entry in my Road to Firebug again tournament preparation entry, where I just go over my preparations for the event like a diary and keep you guys updated before the actual event starts. So, what did we do? In the first episode, I was still thinking about which army to bring and what kind of list to take. In the second episode, we settled on the Vanguard Spearhead and thought about some strategy relating to the layouts and the terrain. And now in this episode, I will just talk a bit about what I think I can expect when I look over the players and all of the armies that are going to show up with all of the different things. I'll be using the Tabletop Herald page for the event itself to do that, and after that, I will just give you guys a bit of a rundown how I do prepare for my tournaments in terms of what things do I bring and all of that stuff. So first of all, let's go over it one last time. We are looking at my Vanguard Spearhead, and I am running Robute Gilliman, Marnius Calgar, an apothecary biologist with the blade driven deep, a captain in Phobos armor with the Ghostweave cloak, 2x5 jump pack intercessors with 2 plasma pistols and power fists, a 6 model squad of Centurion Devastators with flask cannons and missile launchers, 5 Desolation Marines with super cracks and the Vanguard launcher, 6 Eradicators with 2 multi-melters, 3 Eradicators with a multi-melter, 5 Incursors with a Haywire Mine, 5 Infiltrators with the Infiltrator Comms Array and the Helix Gauntlet, 5 Scouts with the Chainsword, 3 Shotguns, and 1 Heavy Bolter. And that's the list. 11 units, 4 characters, and essentially 2 big bricks of damage units with kind of the Desolation Marines doing the same thing and a bunch of skirmish units to keep the game interesting. So, my thought about this was I still want to use the Centurions to blow apart enemy units. We deemed the terrain was actually good enough to do that. And I want to punish opposing ranged armies because the -1 to hit and cover plus Armor of Contempt in a few places makes it pretty difficult to shoot my units with anything except for the most outstanding guns in the game. So that part is pretty nice, and we also have the big important stratagem, which is a deadly prize, which in our opponent's command phase, we can spend 1 command point to make an objective we control sticky. That means if we expose a unit to hold an objective, we can sticky it before our opponent shoots us off the objective, which means our opponent has to come close, and if our opponent has to come close, we can shoot them back. And that is basically why I like the Vanguard Spearhead in this configuration. We also have enough early board presence with Gilliman and the JPI to make sure we don't get rushed turn 1. And if our opponent decides to deploy on the line and run at us, we have a double oath Space Marine army that will shoot them to pieces. And hopefully that's good enough. Yeah, we have the big Calgar Eradicator brick for infiltration, and we are using the Phobos Captain to basically make sure we are blocking off the entirety of No Man's Land before we redeploy back to safety. And we basically start every game pre-staged in a spot our opponent doesn't want to enter, because if they do, they will get advanced and charged by 6 Melters and Marnius Kelgar's hands, which is pretty good. And we also use the redeploy on the Phobos Captain to redeploy the Centurions in a way that allows us to use them on turn 1, so we don't lose any efficiency out of that. Really good stuff. We have Infiltrators and Incursors for some toolbox, and the 5 Scouts, and hopefully I made the right decision. Let's take a look. We have some Necrons, Awakened Dynasty. We have Orcs on the Warhorde. That's Daniel. Maybe we get a rematch this year. We have one Inari. Some Death Guard. Ooh. What's that? What's that gonna be like? Just scrolling down to the Plague Burst Crawler. A free Plague Burst Crawler. Yeah, this... I hope I don't get the Death Guard list here, because this will be my worst matchup, I think. Because the Plague Burst Crawlers will just kill my Desolation Marines, and if they battle shock the Centurions, they can't go into reserve. So, pretty annoying. Yeah, so we have a bunch of Shadow Legions. So 2 Shadow Legions, Votan, some Knights. Hey Patrick, with your Imperial Knights, I love that he's doing it. 2 Inari, another Death Guard without Plague Burst Crawlers. Instead, taking a bunch of War Dogs. I would rather play against this than the other one. I can handle a Death Guard list that is just a bunch of Terminators, because we have with Oath of Moment +1 to wound, counter their -1, and our Centurions with the D3 damage blast. We have a lot of things to do that. Here we have Emperor's Children, really good. Yeah, it's the Winged Demon Prince double list. I'm playing this list myself. Oh, there's a carnivore. That's new. That's spicy. Yeah, so yeah, really cool. Emperor's Children are a great army. Thankfully, because I've played them myself 3 times now, I do know how it works, and hopefully I can counter it. Here we have one of my clubmates, some Tyranids, some things. Knights. Oh, another Death Guard. There's a lot of Death Guard here. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot of Death Guard here. And this one, thankfully, does not have any Plague Burst Crawlers. That's good. I do not want to see Plague Burst Crawlers. That's the weakness of the Desolation Marine. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, Sisters. Grey Knights. Knights. So a lot of Knights, which makes my decision to bring all of this Melta a bit more reasonable, I think. Yeah, here's some Dark Angels. Dark Angels Stormlands. Still not dead. 4 Inari. Chaos Knights. So yes, a lot of Chaos Knights. Another Space Marine. Knights again. Here we go. Yeah, Knights again. Ooh, Thousand Suns. Oh, interesting. Julian's playing Thousand Suns. Pretty interesting. Yeah, Bile. Oh, 1 Bile so far. So yeah, Creations of Bile is pretty scary, because you just get rushed down by a bunch of free wound models. Like here's 10 chosen, 5 chosen, Nemesis Claw, Possessed Raptors. Oh, not that many Possessed, huh? Interesting. Only 1 brick of Possessed? Okay, not that scared in that case. Okay, World Eaters, not looking forward. 6 Inari. Death Watch, pretty scary. Don't get it twisted. Death Watch. Demonic Incursion, don't get fooled by this. The Infiltrators are here specifically for this matchup, because I do not want to get 6-inch Deep Struck. Lions of the Emperor, not that many Custodes so far. Star Shatter, Raiders. Oh, another Vanguard. Let's take a look at Franz and his Vanguard. It is the... Oh, also Combi Lieutenant Gilliman. Assaults. Still Centurions. With heroes, so it's Calgar heroes. And a bunch of Inceptors instead of my... And 1 Vindicator, so instead of my version where I take the Phobos Captain to guarantee my good firing angle. Franz over here is still taking the classic list. Here we have some Custodes. Warhost Eldar. So no Inari count here. Another Death Guard. And this one doesn't have Plague Burst Crawlers. That's good. So 1 Death Guard player so far is bringing Plague Burst Crawlers. Here we have the Plague Legion. Yeah, I did talk to you guys about this with my Stormlands report. Plague Legion. Not thinking this will hurt me that badly, but it will be so annoying to play against in terms of the score. Because even if you win, it might hurt. Here we have Sasha, really, really strong player on Custodes. I beat him the last time by like 2 points, 4 points. It was really close. There's my friend Mika, also on Custodes lines. So now we have a bunch of Custodes lines. So far the trends are a lot of Death Guard, surprisingly, and it is Death Guard vehicle spam with one guy on Terminators. We have a lot of Knights, including like some mates of mine. A lot of Knights. We have a lot of Inari and a lot of Custodes. Out of these, I think I'm always worried about Knights because Knights are just so oppressive with all of their holds, but we should be able to make it work. We did bring enough damage, and I'll tell you what, with Oath and the charge models and a grenade or two, we can hurt an armature with the jump packs pretty badly. Yeah, we don't kill it from full to dead. We're not blood angels, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. So what else do we have? So GSC, a bunch of Votan, another. Ooh, there we go. Chris is over here, and of course Chris is running the triple crawlers. Oh, I don't want to play against Chris. It's gonna hurt. Another. Yeah, here we have a clubmate on Chaos Knights. 7 Inari. Yeah, a lot of Knights. Another and it's 8 Inari. Here we go. 8 Inari. More knights, more knights. So knights are the breakout army on this event. I must have passed scrolled like 12 knights and like 7 chaos knights. 9 Inari. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. Like more knights. There I am. Hello, that's me. And here we go. That's all she wrote. Another Death Guard. Let's take a look at this. No Plague Burst Crawlers, just a bunch of Terminators. I like this one I want to play against. And we did bring Eradicators for Rhinos, so I do not... Oh, another Death Guard. Flyblown Host, interesting. Did not bring Plague Burst Crawlers, but is scouting up the board. Yeah. Interesting. A Gladius over here. Some Bukhari, Aspect Host, an Iron Storm, of course. That's Kev. He's gonna hit pretty hard for Team Austria. Some more. Oh, well, guard. Not that much guard actually. Didn't run into that much guard. Spirit Conclave, interesting. We got some Sisters, Gladius, Demonic Incursion, Chaos Space, Warstone, Forbo. Ooh. That's interesting. Warstone, so we have Harken World Claimer, Demon Prince. Wait, that's the Demon Engine detachment. What is going on? Demon Prince, okay. What does the Demon Prince do? He gives stealth, I believe, to all the CSM units in range? Or was it cover? I don't remember. Vashdor, Warpsmith. That's so many points in characters. How many vehicles are in the list? Defiler, Forge Fiend, Helldrake, Waller Fiend. Okay, this is gonna be wild. But I don't think this will be a particularly tough matchup if I run into this. It's basically just 7, like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 4 vehicles and just a bunch of characters. What is going on? That's crazy. Yeah, more Tyranids. Necrons. So a bunch of Necrons. Another Plague Legion. More Lions of the Emperor. So we have a fair amount of stuff going on. Eldar on the club. Some Votan. Not too much Votan, thankfully. I'm not looking forward to playing against Votan. But yeah, no more Inari so far. We are like 12 behind. Here we have a Stormlands. What Stormlands is that? It is a Raven Guard Stormlands. How many characters? Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. 3 captains in Gravis armor. Just for the durability and the fallback, I guess. 2 Judicias, Caven Shrike. Yeah, this list is just gonna rush all in. Blade Guard, Spam, Outriders, Scouts, and every Vindicator has its own Tech Marine. That's pretty funny. Okay, 2 Combi Lieutenants. This is a wild list. Interesting. That's a wild list. Oh, we have no army list on Mr. Stefan here, and that is the list over here. So what do we have? So let's go over the stats here. We have a lot of aliens at this event. The most represented factions are Eldari and Knights, followed by Space Marines. And we do have a fair amount of Death Guard and Demons, just as I said. So yeah, I will most likely run into at least one Knight player. And if we add Chaos Knights, 7 list. Did I guess 7? I said 12 and 7, right? So I was actually under for the Knights, but I did count correctly for those listings here. All right. So yeah, it looks like I have to come up with some plans for the Chaos Knights and the Knights, but I do think we have enough damage for the hulls, and I do think my plan to just stand out in the open against the shooting armies and sticky the objective, so they have to expose their valuables so I can hit them first, makes me pretty happy. So I hope I can pull off all of this stuff. So what are the least represented factions? GSC, surprisingly. Yeah, 1 person on Emperor's Children. I have to give this guy a handshake. Very nice. Yeah, we have we have Patrick on Agents, really nice. And we have 1 person on Tau. Other than that, it's a pretty diverse field, I would say. Thanks to no Daka being barred from the event. So this is a no more Daka event. 7 Votan. Oh, that's so scary. 6 World Leaders. Yeah, I have to say on what I don't want to play are probably Inari and Votan. Those are the 2 armies I would like to avoid as much as possible. I'm pretty confident in the Space Marine Mirrors. So far, Space Marine Mirrors have traditionally gone well for me. Same with Custodes. I also think that Custodes, I think all of these are Lions of the Emperor with 1 talent. So everybody has dropped the Dreadnought detachment, which means if you can kill Custodian Guard, then yeah, then you're in for a good time. So that was my little talk about the Firebug lists here. Pretty excited to see the event. I hope I don't choke. I hope I can make all of you proud, and I will get a good report out of it. So what do I do in terms of my belongings for the event? So here we go to my little paint camera. So let's go over all of the things I'm bringing to an event. So first of all, I would like to start with the basics. I like to start with the basics. So I do bring my dice. I bring my dice. Those are my favorite Ultramarine dice from Baron of Dice, not sponsored. I have a bag of 50 of them, and I'm taking those with me. I like square corners because they're scientifically more random than round corners. And that's that. We also have a measuring tape, and it's one of the good ones. I really like this one. You can fix it, so you can just put it down. You don't have to keep holding it. It's also not as cheap as the Games Workshop tape, so it doesn't just break every single time. 2 meters, don't need that much. That's pretty fine. I have 2 measuring tapes because I always like to bring a backup. And same is with some dice. So I always bring a second box of little dice just in case I lose my dice between rounds, so I don't suddenly stay without dice. Or if some of my friends forgot to bring their dice, they don't have to buy some expensive ones at the venue. Then I have a little scoring sheet block here, a bunch of sheets where I can write down secondaries and stuff with a pen. So a lot of people are a big fan of the Tabletop Battles app to track all of their games. Me personally, I am better at just writing down the score. So I always see what I have to do, which is also why I'm of course bringing my Pariah Nexus deck, because I do like to draw from the deck. So we have all the secret missions, mission rules, secondaries. The little pamphlet is in here somewhere, and then we have the secondary and primary deck. Yeah, and all of these are in sleeves. Not only because I'm a card game player, it's also because I want to bring all of my cards back home. And most people don't sleeve their deck, so if I have a sleeve deck, it is pretty difficult to mix up the cards. So yeah. So the way I like to play, I always draw the physical cards and just put them down in front of my army, so I don't forget what secondaries I was about to score. Because that's bad if that happens to you. Next, we have some stuff here. I have these deployment zone markers here. Here's for search and destroy, the little rounding thing. And we have a bunch of 9-inch long deployment zone markers. Ever since I've been using these, I don't struggle with the diagonal deployments anymore. So Crucible of Battle is no issue for this. Really big fan of these markers. And just put them down, measure out your deployment zone, and you're good to go. In a similar vein, it always depends on what your event is doing. I bring a set of objective markers. I bring six of them. See, you have the objective in the middle, then it's a 3-inch circle out of that with the radius, and I bring 6 of these basically, just in case the event doesn't have its own objective markers on the mats, which does happen, because it does take a hard minute to organize all of these. Then we have a laser, pretty important for lines of sight. It's a big one. We have very importantly, we have a chess clock with some spare batteries, and we're putting in the round time for 1 hour and 35 or something. And then it can go back and forth, click, click. Yeah. Always get used to playing with a chess clock, in my opinion, because it's not that you don't have to mistrust your opponent about the time. It is more likely, and me personally, if my opponents put me on a clock, I usually finish way before them. I'm pretty good on under the clock. I usually forget to click over to my opponent, so I'm losing a bunch of extra time, but I'm still faster than most people. So I play pretty fast, even long games, while I'm under a clock. And just to make sure all of my games get finished, I'm taking the clock with me, and that's that. Then we have some additional aids. We are bringing some measuring tools. Here we have a little thing. It has like 1.5, 3, and 2 inches on it. So it's pretty good for measuring out the coherency between your models. Then I have a 3-inch, a 6-inch, a 9-inch, and a 12-inch ruler, just so you can put down some measurements for your infiltrators or your deep strikes, or to prevent a pile-in from something. Really nice. It's always good to have this at hand. Next, we have a bit of super glue, just in case you have an unfortunate accident and one of your models breaks and you have to fix it. That's why I always bring some glue to the event. And lastly, for some actual table stuff, I have these 8-sided dice. It's a bunch of D8s. I think it's 11 of them. Yep, it's 11 of them. And I put these down as my wound markers. So if Marneus Calgar takes 2 damage, I can put down a 4 right next to Marneus Calgar, and nobody will confuse it for one of the playing dice, because it's not 6-sided, it's an 8-sided die. I always count down, because people who count up are animals and they don't play the correct game. And I also have one a D10, a 10-sided die for Gilliman, because Gilliman has 10 wounds, and it's the only vehicle or monster in my list, so I don't need to bring more than this one. Lastly, I have this fancy little magazine of Alaskan, and inside we have one 6-sided die for my command points, and we have all of my playing tokens. I have 10 battle shock markers, which I can put down whenever I inevitably fail my leadership 6 battle shocks. 10 of those. And then we have every single token my army could possibly need. We have my free Gilliman tokens. We have Supreme Strategist for the free strat. We have Primarch of the 13th for the extra leadership aura. And we have Master of Battle for the second oath. We have my Oath of Moment token. It's seen better days, but it's still gonna do the job just fine. We have Rights of War for my captain to have my 0 CP stratagem. So I can put this down and then I remembered I already used it. We have all of my stratagems. Right here we have a Deadly Prize, which makes an objective sticky. We have Calculated Feint, which lets me move when I get charged. Armor of Contempt, of course. The -1 AP. We have Surgical Strikes for precision in melee. Here we go. Guerrilla Tactics for putting a unit back into reserves. And lastly, Strike from the Shadows to give +1 to hit AP and cause a battle shock. 1 CP, as well as my Vivispectrum. So if my Apothecary Biologist's unit kills something, I can put down my OC9 marker. And this is basically everything I need. I also have my model tokens for the sticky objectives. I have the little bases with the mines on them. I'll show those off whenever when I come back, and I'll take some pretty pictures of my army. My display tablet is also gonna come along, and that's basically it. So in addition to all of this, things you should bring to an event, in my opinion, are a water bottle. Stay hydrated. Don't get weak. Drink your water. Number 2, I would always bring some breakfast, even if you're at a hotel or something. Don't even go out for like the expensive food stalls or something. Just make a sandwich. Just make yourself a little sandwich, or get something from like a bakery in the morning. It's gonna be more than enough, and after your hard day of playing the games, you just gonna stuff yourself at a pizza place or something. That's what I would suggest. And other than that, yeah, take your usual stuff. Bring your phone charger. Don't forget your hotel room card. Take some extra clothes, of course. Don't have to talk to you about all that. And that's basically what I'm gonna do. So I'll keep some vlogs, I think, of what the event's gonna be, and I'll be happily reporting how the Vanguard actually did at the event. Courage and honor, we march for McCraig.